Dear Lalise, in an endless garden of flowers, I will always choose you. I'd rather sail stormy seas with you than calm waters with anyone else. You were my first. And not a kiss or a relationship, but you were the first who've ever made me feel like this. It's a feeling so intense that my mind runs, my heart throbs, my whole body is filled with adrenaline. My palms get sweaty when I talk to you. It's a feeling that makes me say and do things I never thought I'd do. Now, before I finish this letter, let me tell you what this feeling is. To me, this feeling is love. It's a wonderful and passionate feeling, something that can bring such immense joy and compassion. However, that same feeling can change into hurt, a feeling of obligation, something so overwhelming that you feel trapped in it. There's a lot of problems with love and relationships, especially in the 21st century. So today, I will be writing a letter to someone that gives me this feeling, the better side of it at least, by first off choosing our supplies, talking about what exactly love is and how it's different from attraction. Then we'll start writing the letter, talking about how social media has ruined people's perspectives about themselves and love. And third, we'll close off the letter sending it off with ways love is all around us. So, let's start choosing my supplies. The papers, the pens, the envelope, choosing what I want just like people choose who they love. But isn't it said that you can't choose who you're attracted to? And isn't attraction and love basically the same thing? Well, even though love and attraction are commonly used in the same context, they actually bear very different meanings. The literal definition of attraction is something or someone that entices or attracts you into liking it. However, according to Healthline, when talking about the feeling of attraction, it's a physical want and need, how it would be to be with that person physically. This is how most teenagers and adolescents express their own love. This is why in class, when you're trying to get to your next class period, you'll most likely see a couple showing PDA, public display of affection. The need to be with their partner physically is so strong that they feel the need to display this in school. Now, it's not a bad thing, it's just that they don't know how to express their love any other way. But what exactly is love? What's its definition? Well, love's definition actually changes from person to person. It could range from physical touch, words of affirmation, to gift giving. There are so many different kinds of ways to display love that you can't have a set definition for it. The organization of One Love conducted a study bringing in 10 different contendants, 5 from relationships ranging from married, engaged, to dating, to 5 who've never really had a romantic relationship before. And all 10 of these contendants stated one thing that they felt love was. It was about give and take, and more importantly, respect. Adam Burso was one of these 10 contendants, and what he said about love really shows why it's important to be committed and vulnerable in a relationship. Quote, "The key to success in a healthy relationship is the terrifying but necessary need for commitment. Being able to open up about your life completely with your partner is what strengthens its emotional bond. However, it has to be mutual, or else it can be giving all of yourself to this person and getting nothing in return. If you're able to find someone that puts in that little bit of extra effort, love can be one of the greatest feelings one has ever felt." End quote. But if love is such a great and wonderful feeling, why is there so many problems with it? Well, it may or may not surprise you, but social media is actually one of the leading causes. So, let's start writing that letter, talking about how she's beautiful, wonderful, and captivating, and, you know. Now, writing a letter isn't the most efficient way of communication, but it shows effort, commitment, more than just a text message. Now, we all know that social media has its effect on people, and in most cases that's negative. But how does this affect relationships? Well, social media allows for quick and fast communication. However, it also has a darker side, exposure to pornography and over-sexualization, which leads into sexual conduct. This is what entices people into cheating, talking to others, and being disloyal when they're dating someone, because they're driven by this sexual need for pleasure when they see someone attractive. Not only that, but the social media has been changed into formatting only what people want to see, what they think the ideal type, the ideal stereotype for someone. For example, in guys, the ideal stereotype and type is you have to be at least 6 foot, have a nice face, you dress nice, you have a nice car, and you make a lot of money. Now, I can reach maybe half of those in 10 years. But the expectations that are placed on on women and younger girls are even more detrimental. The expectations that are placed on girls and younger women are that they're young, lean and curvy, have a nice face, fashionable, pretty, have a low body count, and more importantly, aren't high maintenance. Now, who actually fits all of those off the top of your head? Not many, I'm assuming. It's because these stereotypes that are placed onto people are unrealistic and detrimental to people's mental health. People will think they're not lovable, they're not good enough, they're not worthy if they can't fit these stereotypes. Going back to the problem of over-sexualization, it's commonly referred to people commenting and talking about their sexual desires freely, or commenting about people's bodies. Now, this can be as dangerous, especially on social media. In Harvard's Chronicles, they did a report and study that showed that over-sexualization was the leading cause of women's body dysmorphia. And this can ruin someone's self-confidence severely, thinking they're not eating too much, they're not skinny enough, or vice versa, and they eat too much. This can be an impeccable health hazard to anyone. And more worse is that 40% of people who experience body dysmorphia end up with a severe eating disorder that follows them the rest of their life. But how do we change this? Well, you're told it over and over by your counselors, students, and other students. Lessen social media. But it isn't as easy as it seems. You can't just put the phone down. Social media is what consumes the entire world. It's how you communicate with others. But one big thing that you can do when you're on social media is realize that this isn't real life. It's what people want you to see. You have a perfect influencer, have the perfect life. It doesn't show hurt. It doesn't show how the troubles they've been through. It shows you what they want you to see. Their perfect life. When you're able to take a step back and realize this, you're able to reconnect to the real world, invest in face-to-face interactions. It allows you to breathe, something that a lot of us need. So, we've heard all about the bad things about love and relationships. Is there any real hope for love in the world? Well, that's what brings us to our last point. Sending the letter off with a kiss as we wait for her reply. Waiting, and waiting. I'm just waiting. This is what you'll hear when you ask most young adults about when they're going to date or get married. They're waiting for the right person, the right time. They're waiting for the right love. Now, is there any love in the real world, or are we all doomed? Well, I like to think so. You see, love is all around us, and you might not even notice it. Take your pets, for example, or your friends, or your family. All three of those have the same thing in common: unconditional love. See, CBC News conducted a report and a study that showed 1 in 5 people would rather spend time with their pets than a friend. Now, why is that? It's because a cat can't argue about who likes who, a dog won't leave you out when you're hanging out together, and chickens won't talk bad behind your back. Probably. But the relationship between people and animals have this unbounded, unconditional love. It's what makes someone feel so genuinely happy to be with them, because they're not being judged, they don't have to hide behind a mask. Now, unconditional love is what makes someone feel so genuinely happy that they can be themselves without the fear of being judged or misheard. Now, unconditional love is seen in more than just your pets. Most parents, well, all parents should have this unbounded love for their child, through good and hard times, even if it may be hard to see sometimes. One way that we can express the way we love to the people around us is with simple words like these. I love you. I care for you. Simple words like these can really change someone's life, someone's day. Your friend is having a bad day. You sitting next to them and talking and saying how you'll always be there for them, that changed that frown upside down. You find someone that you're interested and want that relationship to grow. You saying that you're wanting to put in effort for that relationship to grow, strengthen that emotional bond, and could potentially find you your life partner. So, today we wrote about what exactly love is and how it's different from attraction. Then, we talked about how social media has ruined people's perspective about love and themselves. And finally, we closed up with ways love is all around us. So, if you haven't heard it today, I love you. Thank you.